It's the Blathering Live, episode 182, 3, 1. I had the numbers down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm here. If you are a YouTube channel member or a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/catnapsock, you might be like, didn't you have that shirt on in your Monday morning show video? Yeah, I did. I took it off after I did the video. I put it on just for the video. And then I took it off and I put it in my chair in my office and went, I gotta wear that tomorrow. So I put it back on for this show. Weird? Productive? Saving water and having to wash clothes? I don't know. You tell me, everybody. We've got I want to say different kind of show tonight, but a different kind of show tonight. Here for about an hour plus. Producer Steve is going to be joining us in full in a couple minutes, meaning you're going to see all his face. We're going to do a two-shot for a little bit tonight until the calls come in. Regulars checking on in here, like Laser Bolt, Crafted Jedi, Professor Addy, JMB, Detective Michael McCarsell. Says definitely saving water. Thank you for the backup on that one there. Everyone else going to get on in here. You will be able to call on the show a little bit later tonight. I'm going to run through a bunch of things. Might start tweaking Mondays a little bit to where it's even more towards that radio show that I want this to be. If you got a call about a topic that we're talking about, I want to hear from you. Thursdays, as is. Saturdays, kind of the hour of power. And of course, if you have things you want to talk about, I want to hear those things. This isn't a dictatorship where I'm saying you must only address what is being undiscussed on the show today. I just want to kind of make things a little bit more, put a finer point on it, which is a great song. Steve knows that song. Not to put a finer point on it. All right. What am I doing? No, he doesn't. He doesn't know. You don't know, Steve? You don't know that song?
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm sorry. You might have to give me a little more, but...
Put a little birdhouse in your soul. No?
No. I'm sorry, man. I'm not a good teammate here. My bad.
Wow. They might be giants. No? Nothing's ringing a bell here. Okay.
No. Might just
That's
be the
okay.
pressure, but no, not today.
Today, I shared a song that I'm convinced I'm one of only 10 human beings on the planet that knows exists. And that is 1995's Everything's Fine by the Surfing Brides from their album Sparky's Dinner. One of the great bands to not make it out of the 90s. And I felt happy to share it, but I felt alone, Steve. I felt alone.
Yeah, I can't help you there. As far as I'm concerned, they didn't make it out of 1995 because everything you just said, you could have told me you made up for a bit or like for a movie that was fictionalized that you were in, and I would have believed you for sure.
Everything's fine. The drummer was someone named Amy Walden. She was the only American in the band. It was a UK-based band. She now lives in the Dallas, Texas area as a hairstylist at her own salon. Steve, I have too much time on my hands, I guess, apparently. How are you doing?
It's hot, but I'm, like I say, I learn something every time we have this show, Ken, so I appreciate it.
Well, there you go. That's what we're doing. Dave McKay's here. Will McClade's here. Dylan Berry here as well. Like I said, if you want to call on the show, we'll get to some calls here in a bit. You want to support the show, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Yeah, and that's about all we need to say about that. But, Steve, our headline tonight reads, World War III averted? I don't know. Breaking news not too much long before we went on air. The so-called 12-day war, coined by the man who may have helped start it and end it in some sort of wag-the-dog scenario. The war seems to be over, Steve. We can sleep tonight. What do you feel about the ceasefire broker between Dear Leader and the rest of the world?
I hope you bought your puts on defense contractors, Ken, and all the selling that's going to go on since we're not going to need all those missiles anymore since Dear Leader figured out world peace. It only took 6 months, but here we are, folks. We've averted World War III. Trump fixed everything. Iran and Israel have agreed to a ceasefire. According to the reporting, Ken, in all seriousness, the ceasefire is supposed to go into effect at 3:30 a.m. this morning, Israel time. Okay. And 12 hours later, Israel will follow suit themselves with the ceasefire, so they're kind of doing it scattered. And then 24 hours from the announcement, we should have no one lobbing missiles at each other at all. Steve, and at that point, we should have peace, Ken.
And we shall have peace. Does Trump watch Revenge of the Sith and just say, dude, everyone, take notes. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
Yes, he's like the guy in the hood. He's got it all figured out. Like he's the one. Like he tells everyone what to do. He shows that he's at the end. Yeah, no, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I look Netanyahu's wagging his tail a little bit, leading him around on the leash a lot, I'd say. But like the fact that I don't know who our Dooku is in this scenario. I don't know. We got separatists fighting the Republic, and then he's ended the war for peace. It's driving me crazy. But yeah, it's been an interesting ride. The news broke that we had taken action against Iran on the Blathering Saturday night, right? Right here.
Onto this show, we broke the news to the world, Ken, that we had. It was like when The Rock pronounced that, or told everyone that we had gotten Osama bin Laden. We announced to the world that we were now at war with Iran.
Wait a minute, was it The Rock? Or was it John Cena? I think it was Cena.
I could be wrong. I thought it was The Rock, but maybe it was Cena. I apologize.
Well, yeah, we couldn't see. Yeah, which is fast. Yeah, that's all fascinating.
Ken, we talked. I sent you a message earlier today about the news because we didn't know the ceasefire was happening before we were talking about this, right? I'm wearing my nice black shirt, Ken. Like, look, this is a very nice black T-shirt. I don't usually put on a black T-shirt and black jeans like you all do.
Yeah, look. I feel as though I've influenced this a little bit. I feel as though I've won some sort of polo war today.
Well, there's no way in hell I was wearing a polo on the show after
you can wear polo.
It was, okay, I was wrong.
Just stick it in my face, Steve. Why don't you just do this and wear a polo for the rest of the time? Mandalorian Jedi's right. Does that make Stephen Miller Masameda? Yeah. Masameda was a little less effective, but a good face for the franchise for the evil folks out there. That might be good.
I appreciate the laughs. I don't want to assign these devils to our beloved Star Wars characters, even if they are the villain ones, because I just want to enjoy Star Wars still and not think of Vance when I see Masameda. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, we were going to talk about what's going on. The news broke on the show, and I'm not making light. I want to make clear, I'm not making light of anyone who had anxiety, stress, tension over what's going on. I did too. I do agree. It's all part of it is all a distraction because we're going to talk a little bit here. We're not going to go into detail maybe, but the Supreme Court had what I would say is a bad ruling today. There's a lot of those things. It is the shotgun effect on purpose. So it is a distraction. And it's our job to look at the role. But so I'm not going to. I had fears too. But in diving in and reading more, I didn't have the greatest episode of Monday Morning Show. I was a little rushed this week, and I put something out. I don't know if my thoughts were completely coherent, but. None of this in the world is normal, but it's also just the engine keeps rolling on, and I think we all want to find a way to stop the engine or break the wheel and have a new kind of world to live in. But when I was reading in and watching some reports, BBC News and some other spots, and yes, some of them are network and legacy media, and that brings its own kind of dubious feelings. But there was like 2 days before the strike in Iran, there's satellite footage, Steve, of trucks carrying stuff out of the bases. Like, not saying it was all a show, but the president calling it a huge success. We know we can't take his word, and then we have the response today, which when you read the headline, I was recording Force Center and I saw it and I was like, oh shit, and then you look into it and then they told us, they let us know, and then it's this game that we're all caught in that undermines. Thankfully, maybe the tension, you know what I mean, of what we're all feeling. But there's still this big picture at play, obviously. But take me through your process over the last couple of days and where you're at with it.
Yeah, I want to answer that question, but I want to give you my mindset on this, Ken. Have you ever played? Are you a poker guy or card guy, Ken?
I wish I was.
Okay.
I know it. I'm
okay.
I'm not cool or good at it.
Okay, that's fine. Have you ever played poker or card games in a group of people with people who clearly don't play or are not experienced and kind of don't know what they're doing? Like,
yes,
if you've ever sat at a card table with 10 people... Right.
The blackjack person that like hits on 19. Yes.
Right. The world politics right now, the foreign world stage right now is a giant 10-person table or whatever, however many you can have of Texas Hold'em, okay?
Yeah.
And it's more Texas Hold'em than blackjack, right? Because we're playing against each other. The idea here is the rest of the world stage knows how to play poker, and Trump is just showing up thinking he's playing Uno, but he has more chips than everyone else, and it doesn't fucking matter. Right. So he can just keep losing at the game, but he can still influence it so much it doesn't really matter. And JD Vance is just sitting next to him like, oh, no, Donnie, no, you don't, no, fold that hand or call that. Well, he doesn't never actually folds, right? Let's be honest. It's just more of when to raise more and more and more. So that's kind of how I think about this, right? Because it's so hard to play poker against that person, right? Like because you don't know when to bluff, you don't know when they're bluffing, you don't know if they even know what they're doing. So that is kind of how I approach the G7, for example, when all these other world leaders are looking at Trump and saying, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, the eye rolls. I love the supercuts of eye rolls between world leaders at Trump. Well, even Chucklefuck Vance, goes on as, we're not going for regime change, and then like an hour later, Trump is, whatever they call Truth Social posts, Blowstein. I don't know. We'll call him Blows. I can't call it a regime change. And then, I was watching a take. It's not even my take, but I've just over a lunch. The former Russian president Medvedev, who was that's also weird that Putin was like, cool, for 4 years you take that job, I'll be the prime minister, we'll switch at the end of it, and now he's done. But he was making some threats, and someone's like, if you know the situation, and with Putin and Medvedev, like there's no power that this dude has over Putin, but he's out there saying stuff which Trump's reacting to, which again, like you're saying, is like he's yelling at a reverse or a draw 4 when everyone else like, don't pay attention to that fuck. That guy has nothing to do with anything. You fuck. And I think it goes to, we'll just talk Uno the rest of the day.
I mean, it's better than World War III. But I think, Ken, the thing I was worried about, to answer your first question, the thing I was worried about when all this kind of happened was not so much that are we really going to start World War III? Like, it's a little hyperbole there, but we can be on those steps, right? But I didn't think it was going to happen over the weekend necessarily. The thing that worries me is I mean, Iran's whole MO is they are, I'm not going to sit here and we're not going to apologize for Iran here. They're one of the biggest state sponsors of terrorism in the region. They do a lot of bad stuff and are connected to a lot of bad people. So whether it's Hamas or some other entity, the stuff I worry about is some agent on behalf of Iran or in response to what we did acting on something at home or on, U.S. targets where we have civilians abroad, stuff like that. That's the stuff that scares me, is going into a big crowd over the next few months thinking to myself, is this okay? You know what I mean? And that's what they want.
Yeah, absolutely. And and I know we helped topple their regime in 1950, which, changed the future of the country, not necessarily for the better in terms of what you're talking about. Right. But the fact that remains, I'm a solution-based person, right? Like we deal with the here and now. That is part of the reality. And it was, and I'm gonna have to admit, we're dangling World War III over it because I think we're always could be on the doors. We're one button to push away from that at all times. I still contend, maybe it's because I'm mostly Ukrainian in my past, that's the path to it more than even anything in the Middle East. But when you got Iran's friends and everything like that, but right. I'm worried about there was the threat. They absolutely just said, and what was described as a message sent to Trump during the G7. That hey, we got some sleeper cells over there. They might wake up. Sport, like that's the uncontrollable thing. That you're right. Beyond the headlines of the dumb actions of continuous dumb actions of our country or this administration. Yeah.
And let me be clear. I don't want to come off as ignorant. Like you as a child of the Cold War experienced a trauma I did not from that regard. So I totally those feelings are completely justified from the experience that you lived through. And I think a lot of other people that are that live that same experience who don't necessarily would think the same way as we do on a lot of these other things would code to that as their reason for being so hawkish on these kind of ideas,
Oh yeah. When you look, that's why I mentioned, what happened in, everyone goes to 1979 in Iran, and I'm 1.100000% read on this, to be clear, but I know what happened in the 50s and what we were doing in the 50s when we were out there spreading democracy throughout the world, and the butterfly effect is still being felt. It's always complicated, but I also do think you have to look at certain things and results and actions that have come of it and what they did. But all that to say, I feel nothing is good over there right now.
No.
And none of this is to say what you and I are talking about, and we can move on. Look what else we got on the show tonight. Greg Abbott, Taco Bell, and foot fetish. And the NFL season. This is what I love doing, the blathering. I love the blathering going all over the place with everything. But yeah, no, so that, none of the stuff has eased my tension, but I like reading more about it, and even having people that I like out in the public space, or countries I like out in the public space, go, yeah, no, we're pretty good with what the U.S. did. Ukraine was like, yeah, we're pretty good with Iran not having nuclear capabilities. Whether or not that was actually the result, and Russia's already saying, yeah, don't worry, we'll give them some stuff. But it's interesting for me to dive into that, and that lowers my tension on the entire situation.
Yeah, and I agree with a lot of your sentiment on that, especially with when you hear about other people and giving their take on, okay, well, the end result here is, dangerous regime doesn't have nuclear weapons. That's a general good. Now, how we get there is one thing. The legality of how we got there is a whole nother. And the fact that Vance said Iran still has 60% of its enriched uranium, or they believe it was, and it was moved in anticipation of being attacked anyway, just means, are they just saving that in their back pocket for an excuse to do this again later on? Who knows?
Oh, right, yeah. Netanyahu will once again say they're weeks away, as he's been saying for 15 years or more.
Just like Trump's healthcare plan. Just like Trump's healthcare plan.
Yeah, just like the healthcare plan. And David McKay asks, is that all one topic? It is. Greg Abbott has taken Taco Bell to the NFL for some players' foot fetishes. No, we're going to talk all about that.
Might be able to tie a few strings together there, but let me work on
it. A couple final little comments on this here. Callie Canada, is there going to be a ceasefire? Related to what you said, you explained the timeline of the ceasefire.
Yeah. Yes.
I forever fascinated by that. I don't know. And Sean's a relative, resident military guy. So you got Iran stops at one point, 3:30 Israel time, and then 12 hours later, Israel stops. Like, what happens in that 12-hour span? Do they get as they keep doing in Gaza, just launch more rockets at civilians?
Well, they had a tea time, so they're going to let them play it out, right?
Okay.
And then finish once we're done. So that's the idea: is ongoing missions will cease at those times. And look, man, I'm not Pete Hegseth or Marco Rubio.
Sure.
Ask them.
I'm sure he.
They don't
understands.
know what the hell's going on either.
I'm sure Hegseth completely understands that.
Hold on, let me check my phone. I don't know. I might be in a signal chat. I do drive by occasionally, so I might pick up like a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you're close enough. You're close enough. You might start getting text messages. Hey, man. Hey, we're gonna strike. Europe. What? Pete H. What?
If I do, I'm texting you first, Ken.
And I'm not.
We'll make content out of it.
Yes, thank you. And I'm not making light of the ceasefire. Ceasefire, good. Okay.
Yes.
Trump has started and ended the 12-day war. What a hero. But that fascinates me. And then Israel has done such a great job of just following the rules when they're put upon them, or things they agree to. And then the final part of this story. Ranger Donald says, also, don't worry, everyone. WWE is still full steam going to Saudi Arabia for their blood money, and their production crew, I don't think any talent, their production crew is stuck in Qatar because the airspace is closed down. So the WWE, which continues to work with Saudi Arabia, a lot of people have strong opinions on that, which I fully understand. Now their crew's stuck over there. And they had a plane stuck there a couple years ago, and that was blamed on Vince. Vince is gone. Now WWE, which is very clearly mega adjacent, there's not everyone in that locker room. I know some of the people in that locker room, and I know they aren't. I know it's a job, and they don't have, at this point, probably much of an option. But I personally know some people in the WWE locker room, and they are progressive. So it's got to be a weird situation over there. But once again, much like with the announcement from John Cena that we got him, WWE at the center of this one too, Steve.
Well, we know a B2 can get to the Middle East in about 30 hours. So if they have like crew that's already in the U.S. that they need to get over quickly to make the show by the end of the week, they could probably still make it there. So
imagine Roman Reigns in the cockpit of a B2.
jumping out of the back of an airplane. That actually would be kind of cool.
Talk about content. All right, we are here tonight on the Blathering. You're watching live. Thank you all. It's the Monday show. I want to do highlights and folks. I got to get some new stuff made. So if you're out there and you want to promote something, you make me a card. I'll share it. I like to build up the community. I want to highlight my buddy Brandon McClure and his Substack. He was so nice. He actually mentioned the Blathering in his Substack the other day. Entertainment news and opinions, a good roundup on what's going on in pop culture. Bitching about nothing. We talk about small joys and pop culture and movies and TV shows. I think maintain that, folks. It is something to still follow and be interested in. So check out Brandon's Substack there. If you're watching with two screens, you can scan the QR code or go to btmcclure.substack.com if you're listening there. Also, I want to highlight our buddy. I got to get a new one from him. All right. I was going to highlight Matty Gunner today. Matty, I don't know if you're in chat. You might be in bed. He has one song out there with his band Warner Truth, but that was like his newer song a while ago. I got to check with you, Maddie, if you got something new there. So check out Warner. Just get some great hardcore music there. Your soul will rattle, but your heart will feel good. And as always, check out our buddy Adam Knight and his book Cowboy Ending, book one of the Overdrive series there. I got to get some new spots, but I'm going to keep highlighting all these spots for those other folks as well. Calls here in a little bit. No, Cena announced it, but Rock tweeted about it. So it's, the Cena one stands the test of time. I think that's in the documentary that's out there. All right, Steve. Next up on the no squirrel update. I'm gonna have a bigger squirrel update on Thursday. I did have a fresh video today, Steve. So
I thought you said no show Thursday, Superman Thursday.
Oh
right?
Crap! It is. I am going. I think this Thursday's Superman.
Okay.
You start talking about Greg Abbott. I'm going to confirm if I have a show Thursday.
That's fine. All right, let's do that. So next up on the docket, folks, is we debuted a segment, but not really. It was more of a joke called "Fuck That Guy." We're
Fuck
past
that guy.
20 minutes, Ken. We're good. We just did 20 minutes on foreign policy. We can swear. So we did a thing called "Fuck That Guy" for actually Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, not the sports radio personality, the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, because he did this whole thing where he was saying that basically, I'm paraphrasing, but marijuana gummies are killing your kids in Texas, and they wanted to make THC and all things marijuana illegal in the state of Texas, and so the Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor Dickbag, was really hoping that Abbott was going to veto this bill. To make sure that it didn't go through, and at the 11th hour, at the very, very end, the governor, Greg Abbott, so not the Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Abbott, the governor, decided not to veto this bill and allowed the legislation to go through so that they can continue to create hemp products in Texas. So he would not veto, or it's either vetoed or never. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, Texas is allowing THC products moving forward. That's
where we're going to end up there. I was following you. He's not going to do it, but he's not going to do it, but not.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Veto.
It's the language was
prudent at this juncture. Okay. So and I have no big take in this other than I'm always rooting against Greg Abbott, but this is not a win for him, but it's a win for the state, or win for business, right? More than anything.
Exactly. It's a win for, well, first of all, the thousands and thousands of people in Texas who use medical marijuana products will have hopefully expanded access as more of those products are made available. But also the hemp industry in general, because we're not even talking about just like weed, like that you smoke. We're talking about like rope and shit. Like
the Woody Harrelson stuff. The Woody Harrelson stuff.
Right, but like the hemp industry from like the stuff that they use to like make bags and canvas and stuff like that, like. The idea here was that the lieutenant governor was saying this law leads us towards a path of legalizing marijuana in Texas. The governor was saying if we don't allow this to happen, then we are in violation of the 2018 Farm Bill, which federalized and allowed hemp to be grown for commercial and for commercial purposes, not necessarily to grow weed to smoke. Right, so they made a distinction there between commercial hemp and recreational and medical marijuana. So the lieutenant governor and the governor of Texas are at odds on whether or not this bill would lead towards the legalization of marijuana. And so the lieutenant governor's all pissed off because he doesn't want you having weed gummies. That's the moral of the story.
Jesus does not want the youths to be having their gummies. They want the gummies from the devil.
This week is like Jesus. This week is like the trend of what's like when that person that you hate makes a really good point. So this, right? So we did the whole Tucker and Ted Cruz debacle.
Yeah.
This is Greg Abbott doing the whole hey, he's a dickbag about literally everything else, but he made the right call here.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, and you all should check out if you're looking for a place to put money in for candidates. I haven't personally completely vetted, so I have not donated money yet. But is it Bobby Cole? Bobby Cole for governor. He's going against Greg Abbott. He's got a great promo. He was a firefighter for 20 years. He has a farm. He sounds like a character I'd make fun of, but he sounds like a good alternative. So Texas, you might need to change up there. For me, the thing I like about this is I'm clearly mocking a little bit here, but I am so tired of what I still consider the 1950s ideals of that there dag-nabbit gateway drug, the marijuana is going to send you to hell. And like that has been such a source of just that kind of thinking has been a source of so many problems in so many different areas, including mass incarceration, all those kind of things. But just down to how we view things and how I grew up. And this is coming from personal experience, like where even if 25 years ago, someone was like, oh, yeah, you like that bag? It's made with hemp. I'd be like, oh, my God, you're going to get high. Well, what are you doing? You can't get high. Like that was me for a lot of my life. And I moved past that. So I want the world to move past that.
And the world didn't move past that till about 15 years ago, Ken. I mean, like 2010-ish was right around when we started seeing, Colorado make recreation marijuana illegal in the early 2000s, and it started kind of trickling from there, other states opening up.
I used to arrest people for marijuana. It was like a highlight of our Friday night, right? Like, and then one time, this is not too long ago. This is maybe 12 years ago. So we used to, arrest. It was sport. It was sport. It was an easy way to get someone, right? And so I'd be part of that. And then one of my bosses was a retired LAPD lieutenant, and he was getting ready to retire from this job. He was my regional security director, and he was going to move to the Pacific Northwest. And he's sitting in my office, and we were good buddies. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to open up a pot farm up there." And I was like, "Ha, that's a good joke, Mike." He's like, "Yeah, no, I'm going to open up a pot farm up there. What are you talking about? What do you mean?" And I was just like, but crime. And he's like, fuck that noise. I'm out of all this. And I just was like, what do and I always talk about permission structures, right, Steve? I talk about permission structures. Yeah. And that was a permission structure for me to I still have never partaken, maybe on account of the sin, but also, I don't know. I need to take uppers. That's what I need. But that started to change my mind. I was like, then why were we arresting these kids on a Friday night? Who gives a shit?
I'm sorry. I will respond to your point, but that immediately just made me think of before you said you needed uppers. I was like, oh, me and Alden are just going to make you some really nice pop brownies one day. And then you're like, no, I don't need that. I just need uppers. And then my mind immediately went to us all just going to Vegas and just doing like lines off of some, shitty like sports book bar or whatever. You know what I mean? Just going the complete opposite way.
I need something that will make me believe in myself. And if that's gummies, edibles, brownies, because brownies make me believe in myself, but in another way that I am going to die slowly. Yeah. Anyways, you hippie. Anyway, so a win for Greg Abbott. I hope he then also loses to Bobby Cole. And I'll see. Yeah. You all vet yourself. But Bobby Cole looks like a good person to maybe donate to, so we can get Greg Abbott at. Kate Abu-Ghazaleh is still someone. Kat Abu-Ghazaleh is someone I'm still supporting as well. And there you go.
Whoever the hell is voting, and I'm sorry, Ken. Whoever the hell is also running against Ted Cruz, just in general. Just every time. General, whoever that is, just how the hell does he keep getting? Anyway, we need to move on, Ken. I don't want to talk about Ted Cruz for 10 minutes. I want to be in a good mood tonight.
Yeah. All right, but speaking of all this weed, you sinner, you Taco Bell is now how much more expensive from 2014? What world do we live in?
81%, Ken. Taco Bell is 81% more expensive than it was if you went at 2 a.m. on June 23rd of 2014 after you had maybe imbibed some of the devil's lettuce and had just seen like Prometheus at midnight on the premiere.
And got a safe ride to the Taco Bell.
Absolutely, yeah. You Ubered your way there the whole time. Yeah, for sure.
I'm on to you, Steve.
Now, drive sober, folks.
And Tully's right. I'm Donnie for NYC mayor. Yes, that's also a good choice as well. So what what I like about I don't like the story, but what I like about this is it puts a bit of a number to the truth that we all feel, and in a world in which, the federal minimum wage is still tragically low, now I have even more fuel when talking to folks who will listen to me, because a lot of folks just won't listen to me on that side, and maybe we don't listen to them is what they think too. But when they're complaining, I could be like, hey, like, I can't even with a minimum wage job, I couldn't afford to get Taco Bell to survive. It's out of reach for all of us. What are you doing here? What are we doing? This is late stage dying capitalism. Taco Bell is 81% more expensive than it was 10 years ago.
It was $26 for my wife and I to get 2 meals at Taco Bell the other day. Just 6 tacos in total with
Steve,
a Baja Blast, man. It was $26, Ken.
That doesn't make me feel good because you've got $26 for a family of 3 to get a dinner, and I recently went to Del Taco and spent $26 on myself. You all think I'm
the baby eats very
joking, but man, I don't know if it's slightly just more expensive out here. I haven't tracked Del Taco, but all to say, jokes aside, like yeah, we've all felt it. We all know this,
yeah,
and it's part of the ongoing conversation. When I get depressed and I swing through a McDonald's drive-through for a number 7 large with a water, because I do get the water, it helps it all go down faster.
Like, does it make you feel better?
Yeah, it does.
It's not as bad as a Diet Coke. Yeah.
Well, the Diet Coke is an activator. You know what I mean? And
right.
I can't have the food and the Diet Coke. It's like a science experiment gone wrong in my stomach. So Beaker will run around. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's $16.
Yeah. Right. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And then you feel even worse about yourself because you just spent $16 to make yourself feel like shit in an hour.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, Demolition Man's future isn't true. No dinner and dancing at Taco Bell, but it's getting to that point. Tully says, never in my life would I have thought a burrito at Taco Bell would end up over $10, and it is the income inequality at its finest. Like this is, you could work at Taco Bell and not afford to buy Taco Bell. What world are you leaving us behind, boomers?
A 5-layer burrito, Ken, has gone up 132%. Since 2014 for just a 5-layer burrito. That was like a cheap thing. It was $159. Now it costs $369. So yeah. Taco Bell isn't even the worst offender on this list. We talked a little bit about this. Right. McDonald's is the worst. They're at 100%. So the dollar menu done and dead and toasted. There's nothing left. Right. No. A McChicken is $3 now. A McDouble is $3.19. Used to be $1. And a quarter pounder. Ken, a quarter pounder meal, $11.99. $11.90.
No, right,
dude.
Right.
Go to Chili's. Just go to Chili's.
That's
like,
what it
is.
It's
the same thing.
Because you were talking about the Panera prices.
Yes, Panera. Sorry, 54% total since 2014. They're up.
Right.
A bread bowl, Ken. A bread bowl in 2014. So this is like a few years after college. For me, I would have gone to Panera all
college.
the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, 2014 was a few years after college. We go to Panera all the time, get a bread bowl, get salad, blah blah blah. It was like a cheap lunch. $4.99 for a bread bowl in 2014. That's even after I was gone from college. $9.19 for a bread bowl in 2025. Right. $9.19 for a bread bowl. Just yeast, water, dough, and then you throw soup in it when you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. And again, this isn't like my dad complaining about when I was a kid, it cost 25 cents for 5 tickets to Disneyland, and now it's $200. It's like, yeah, you also you bought your first house for the price of my probably iPhone. Like yes, that's how it works. But now we are so clearly unable to afford life.
Because as you mentioned, Ken, I remember having a conversation with my dad, staunch conservative, when I was in high school. This is 20 years ago almost. Why the minimum wage, Dad, should be higher than $7.25. That's ridiculous. People can't live off of $7.25. Yeah. Hey, Ken, the minimum wage isn't any fucking different than it was 20 years ago.
No different. my radio career,
McDonald's is 100% more expensive.
Yeah. My radio career began in 1995 professionally. I made $5 an hour. Okay. I moved to LA in 1998. My uncle was like, come work security. We'll get you $7.25. and then we'll go to 750 3 months in. So I was like, that's great, because I was making about 6 at a movie theater. That was 1998, Steve. Now, I know the base level for those guards at my old department is now like $12. Woohoo! Woohoo! $12.
I remember my first job where I got double digits per hour. That first $10 an hour job, I was like, holy shit, I can buy so much stuff now.
So much stuff. I want to shout out Jonas Berggren here, one of the longtime listeners around these parts. Your food prices are scaring me. I'm coming over in September, gonna go broke. Look, Jonas, it looks like you're trying to settle in up, doing some work up in Seattle. I saw in the Discord. If you get down here, Jonas, me and Brian Tiller will take you out. We'll get you some Del Taco again. I know you had a bad experience at Del Taco at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, but we got you covered if you get down here. Also, Jonas has done some drumming for the Moon Agers, and I don't even think Jonas knows, but we got a new tune cooked up that we need your drumming for, buddy. It's good. It's good. It's coming your way. All right. So Taco Bell, they've turned their back on us, but Steve, maybe that's a good thing, because what's this about, a foot fetish in your hometown?
This is a fun little story about my area, and you can find this stuff on the Nova subreddit, or if you just look up some stuff around, I think it was on TikTok as well. But there's been uptick in these posts that I have read. And this is all, Ken, this is 100% a Blathering original report. Okay, I've done this reporting my own. I have looked up information about this.
Okay,
I don't want to kink shame. I'm 100% for love is love. You do you. I'm not about anything like that. But there's a gentleman going around the Northern Virginia region, and he has approached several women respectfully. They've all said this dude has been nice. But anyways, there has been several reports, and one of the example reports was basically this woman I was shopping at Aldi, which is a grocery store around here. I was looking through, the cereal aisle or whatever.
There too. Okay, yeah, there you go.
There you go, Aldi's, boom.
Aldi.
And this guy comes up to me and he says, "Ma'am, I just want to let you know, I think you have beautiful feet, and I do this thing where I take pictures of people's feet, and it's like an art thing I do, blah, 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 blah. Do you mind if I take pictures of your feet?" And he never asks for money, like he never offers money up front. But I've read 3 specific posts about this that have happened just in the last week and a half, Ken. And the first girl was just like, no. The second girl said not for free. And the third girl said yes, just for free, right? So they all kind of gave different stories about what happened. Okay. So I can tell you the first girl was just kind of freaked out. The second girl that posted the same thing said, hey, because it wasn't until the third post that they all kind of connected the dots and was like, we have a serial foot fetish dude in the region. This is the same guy. Because then they started just comparing descriptions.
Connect the notes. Okay.
Anyways, moral of the story for me, don't sell your feet pics if you think you got a good pair for anything less than $80. Because the girl came out of the gate in the second story, she said $100, he said 80, and she said yes.
So we're setting the price at 80.
The floor, well, if you have good feet. You know what I mean? If you have good feet enough where a dude with a foot fetish would approach you in public with the balls to say, hey, can I take pictures of your feet? And not just get immediately pepper sprayed? Yeah, no, man. Okay, I mean, look, I'm all for people, get your ducats, man, make some money. It's just, this is, in 2025, I find this complicated to talk about slightly in the sense of, if he's... I don't know. Ken, I wonder if you're on WikiFeet.
Check. I'm gonna look right now. My former fiance was. Don't you dare look.
I'm not looking. Nope, you're not on there. Sorry.
Oh, good. Yeah, because again, why, Steve? There's very rarely an opportunity to take a picture of me in public without shoes on or in shorts. Right. The one I shared with you all is about it. Is about it. Okay. It's just. I think this story is kicking in my security background again. Earlier I talked about arresting people for weed, and this is why I sometimes will push back on the folks who I just don't think have an understanding of law enforcement and the actual realities of it. Now I think there's how we get there. There's mental health. We need better support. We need medical. Crime is economic. I could dance with you all day on that stuff and agree with everyone 100%. But there was times where we would deal with the absolute, I don't know how to describe it, Steve, with these kind of folks. The amount of dudes, and by the way, 100% across the board dudes. 100%, 17-year test sample size here. 100% time dudes. The amount of times dudes in malls are walking around with shoe boxes that have cameras in them with little pinprick holes, and they're going up escalators. And the amount of times we'd stop that, the amount of times we'd chase them, the amount of times that they would just brazenly reach out and touch, right? And any woman in our chat is probably like, yeah, tell me about it, sport. But it would happen weekly.
Yeah.
And we'd only see it weekly. It happened daily. And so this guy, as much as I want to support his interests, just approaching people, man. I don't know if it's honest and refreshing, Steve, or part of what I dealt with in my past, where it just freaks me out a little bit.
I don't want to say refreshing. It is honest on the surface, because at least he's not taking like creepy pics of people's feet like without their consent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is offering even to pay, so at least he's somewhat of a gentleman, at least in that regard.
Are most serial killers real nice too?
I don't know. I mean, how many of them offered, hey, I'll give you $80 before, you know, but now we're getting into some real dark territory, because then they'll just take it back anyway. But it's like playing Grand Theft
And look,
Auto.
and LQ says it ain't always dudes. I don't disagree with you, LQ. I'm just saying, for me, 17-year sample size in here
No,
in
she said, ain't
LA.
it always dudes? Ain't it always dudes? She's agreeing.
Oh, did I get it wrong? Oh, ain't it always
she's
dudes?
agreeing.
Okay, then LQ and I agree. Yeah, no, 100%, 100% across the board. Right, like I know that men can be abused. All this, there's that. I'm just saying, in this type of situation, with the who let you leave the house stuff, 100% dudes across the board.
Yeah, no, that's not, and I'm not trying to absolve any of that at all. I'm also, just being, like I said, from the reports of this, no one was hurt. The girls said they were just a little like, yeah, it was kind of weird, but the this person was respectful, polite, blah 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 blah. But yeah, the Northern Virginia, this just south of DC here, we have a foot enthusiast, and so if you live in this area and you've got good feet, flaunt those piggies this summer and get yourself paid.
Get your money. Yeah, no, like I don't fault. I know a couple friends who have hit hard times. They've started OnlyFans. I absolutely support them. Like get your money. I had one friend in wrestling who started an OnlyFans about 5 years ago, paid off all her debts. Like, get it, do it, own it, control the narrative if you want to do it. But this dude takes it. I don't know about this. I don't know. I don't know, Steve. All right, I think we've hit the end of kind of the pre-selected topics. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I hope everyone else did. I like the little energy on here on the Mondays. But the final thing is, we are 73 days out from the NFL season, Steve. I'm getting excited. I shouldn't be, because the Dolphins are going to break my heart.
Ken, rookies are throwing like drills in practice in shorts. It's been exciting. We've done mini camps. There's drama about whether or not people are attending workouts that they should be or not. People are getting paid or not. We will see. The training camp opens at the end of July, so that's when things really get exciting. But this first week of July is when some contract stuff happens, as far as trades that can go down. And it's like when certain things, it's like not the new league year starting, but there's just contract things that happen in the first week of July where some things can actually become official and trades and stuff. So some excitement happening. And then NBA free agency is also exciting in the beginning of July. So we got a little bit of like the nerdy parts of sports this month coming up.
I love that. No, the Dolphins might actually finally trade Jalen Ramsey. And I love seeing the footage of all the players practicing and the coaches. And it made me think, Steve, when you watch some footage of your favorite football team out there on the practice field and you look at the coaches, right? Look how the coaches are dressed now. And then you look at how Buddy Ryan used to dress when he was the coach of the Eagles during training camp with those double knit, high-waisted shorty shorts. This is how I feel when I'm describing my disdain for polo shirts and cargo shorts, and I feel you're defending Buddy Ryan in the double knit shorts.
Do you want to go up against one of those Buddy Ryan double knit shorts defenses? Because I sure as hell don't.
I don't. The 46 defense, I don't. But you just made me think, because like Mike McDaniel's walking around with sweatpants rolled up to his ankles and a cool pair of sunglasses, and we have some coaches look like they could still play for 3 downs a game. Flash forward to back in the day with fucking Buddy Ryan with his shorts up to his double chin up here, just like, wow, we're gonna run down defense. That's That's what I think the world you're all in when you wear your cargo shorts, Steve.
A little bit. I told my wife, just buy me whatever Mike McDaniel wears. Like, when anything you see him on the sidelines, just buy me that for Christmas. And what do you know, Ken? It's all just Lululemon. He just wears a lot of Lululemon. My wife did the research. Like,
you notice, though.
There's Pinterest pages about his fashion sense. He just wears all Lululemon. Yeah.
You notice, though. And you don't. I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. You're an Eagle fan. You're not paying attention as much as, well, apparently maybe in your house you are. Mike McDaniel last year showed up like he was a player in the Miami social scene. Oh, yeah. Right? His hair was done up, the glasses. He had a different vibe from his first 2 seasons as head coach. It's downplayed this year because I think he knows last year he gone done fucked up. And now he's more serious, Mike. He's Michael now, and I like it.
The seat is hot this year in Miami. Ken, I'm so excited to talk football here in the next
few
months. We're gonna have some fun football stuff.
We're gonna have some fun. Final stuff. We're gonna leave the polo shirts and cargo shorts behind us. Okay, we're never gonna mention it again too much on the show. I did hang out with one of my friends. Shout out to my friend Jessica on Friday night, and I asked her about this thing, and she agreed with me that one of the more amusing things in the world to her is when any white guy says, "But I look good in them." She says that is one of the biggest lies in the world, and I'm gonna just end it on there, Steve.
Okay, fair enough. It's your show, Ken. You have spoken.
It is my show. God damn it! You take that to Blathering backstage.
I will.
Which reminds me, you out there should be subscribed to Blathering Backstage. You get some fun hangouts with Steve and the crew and all the regulars over there, game streams and clips and all those good things. Check out Blathering Backstage. I have some ideas for other things to do over there that would include my ugly face, so we'll get over there. All right, Steve, are you ready for some calls? Anyone out there? We're doing a different kind of show tonight. I'm here for about 20 more minutes, so I want to get some calls from you. If you want to be a caller on the show, yell at me about anything, but specifically about anything we talked about tonight. Let's open up the phone lines. But YouTube channel members get to call in, and Patreon supporters at patreon.com/KenNapzok. First in the stream here, but I got to make sure we get the right setting. Oh, okay.
It's okay. Put me in my corner, Ken.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fine.
No. Here's how we're going to... Sorry. I got to build that. I had a great idea on what to do, and then I didn't build the right screen today. All right. First in, Professor Addy. Addy, thank you for waiting. How are you?
I'm good, Ken. How are you?
I am, you know what? I fed 2 squirrels by hand today, and one of them touched me. It was quite a moment. Sometimes when we touch, it was a good day. How are you?
Did you wash your hands after they touched you?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
I got a little sink in the garage. Sink in the garage.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry, Addy. Ranger Donald, I have to be off in 20 minutes. Tonight it's real. Okay. Addy, any thoughts on World War III, ceasefire, hemp, weed, how much you've spent at Taco Bell or Wendy's? I want to know what's on your mind.
Oh, I have so many thoughts, Ken. So first of all, World War III. I fully believe that this was all a ruse so that we have to give him a Nobel Peace Prize because we never gave him a GD Emmy.
Oh, right. Yes. I agree.
If we had just given him an Emmy, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Like go back to 2015 you're talking about? Yeah.
Oh my God, she's right.
Yeah.
Has anyone told Addy? Have you told anyone this? Like, this is an amazing.
I read it
Hold
on
on to that.
I
This
don't
is a
think
great
this is
nugget.
an original thought.
Okay.
I'm shutting up again.
Okay.
But yeah, no. 2002, given him an Emmy, let Survivor lose 1 year, and we are out of this mess.
I'm with you.
I have no thoughts about hemp.
Yeah.
But no, my lunch at Wendy's today cost $12.
I saw in chat what you have, but for those listening,
I had an Asiago Club chicken sandwich, which admittedly, like, okay, fancy Wendy's, but still.
I was gonna say.
A fries and a regular Frosty, and it was nearly $13.
Yeah, that's a crime.
Like, I didn't even get a fancy Frosty. I got a regular chocolate Frosty for the dipping of the fries.
What size? Large fry?
Regular size.
Well, wow. First of all, time out. The discipline on you to get regular fries. I admire this, Addy. I go large by default.
To be perfectly honest, Ken, it would never occur to me to order large fries.
Okay. Steve, can we dig in on this? Steve, do you go large by default as well?
This is actually so crazy that we're even talking about this, Ken, because I literally am just now making the life transition from. I even told my wife this, like, I think over the weekend. I said, "Babe, I think it's time. I think I need to go downgrade now from the large to the medium fry. I think it's time." Wow. I've been a large fry guy since I was like 9.
Right, Addie. You just don't consider it? Don't want to? Is it a discipline? This is a fascinating and admirable trait.
Not to hang everything on this, but I'm gonna go with it's a gender thing where I was not encouraged to order the large or the supersized fries.
Yet another thing, and I'm not even joking here. Yet another thing in which the patriarchy has undercut the joy of a lot of humans. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go with like I just don't think that was ever anything I was encouraged to do. I was encouraged to do quite the opposite, quite frankly.
Yeah, I get you. I hear you. I think that's insightful. Yeah. But now I still think it's admirable now because it's the right choice, maybe health-wise, as Steve and I will attest to.
Oh gosh, I had another thought about one of the topics you all talked about, and it's gone clear out of my brain. I was working while I was listening to you guys.
Well, that's good. We're a good multitasking show. I like that. Was it the foot fetish?
No.
You were thinking of that for 5 seconds, but you were mustering the courage to say it.
I just wanted to say that I thought the Monday morning show was very good this week, and you shouldn't be so self-disparaging. That's all.
Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And it's not because you name dropped me, for the record.
I did name drop you. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
I thought it was good before that happened.
You record in a vacuum. I don't plan it, and then I had a show at Flappers last night, and I was like, shit, I need to record. And I didn't want to put it off. So I appreciate that. And just sharing what I go through.
I watched it this evening when I got home. It was not a Monday morning show. It was a Monday evening show.
Yeah,
but before the news had broken that World War III is over. And I thought it was very insightful. I thought it, as usual, you captured you helped put words to a lot of the things I've been feeling, which you do regularly on Monday mornings. And I really appreciate that, Ken. And if you're not listening to a Monday morning show, or you're not a YouTube channel member or a patron on Patreon to be able to watch the Monday morning show video, you should change that and make it a part of your routine.
There you go. I couldn't have hired an AI bot to do my VO better than Addie saying what I feel I should be better at saying myself. I appreciate it, Addie.
Anytime, Ken.
You've answered our topics. Oh, Steve, sorry I cut you off.
No, I was just saying, I can cut that out for you if you want, Ken. You can just use that just attach that to some of your Spotify thing. Let's do that. Okay.
Let's do that. Addie, you spoke to our topics. I appreciate you playing along with that tonight, but a couple minutes here for you, and then we got Detective McCarcel. What do you got? Anything else on your mind?
Really quickly, Ken, I've got a doc recommendation for you in the audience.
Okay, I just watched another doc Saturday night. I'll share, but what do you got?
I watched the Sally Ride doc that just dropped on Disney Plus.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna absolutely watch that. It's on Disney Plus, you said?
It's on Disney Plus. It's a National Geographic documentary.
I like it.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And it was it's a tight 2 hours, maybe not even 2 hours. But it was really insightful. I learned a lot about Sally Ride that I did not previously know. It was told a lot by her life partner of 27 years that people only found out about after her death. Right. And they did go a little bit into why that was and why Sally felt like they had to keep it secret. Yes, Sally Ride is the astronaut 8984M. She was the first American woman in space.
And a great part of We Didn't Start the Fire. I'm absolutely going to put that on the list.
It was fantastic. I paired it with, I read a new book by Taylor Jenkins Reid called Atmosphere, which was also about female astronauts in the 80s. It was kind of weird. Juxtaposing the two together, I was like, you took inspiration from Sally Ride when you wrote this book. But
love it.
It was a great doc. I highly recommend it. And the Barbara Walters one is next on my list. Ken, what do you have?
Well, I realized I shared it already publicly because I forget everything I say immediately, but I did talk about it on the Monday Morning Show podcast. But I do want to recommend publicly for those who didn't catch that episode, Inside the Mind of a Dog, the doc I watched on Netflix. So fascinating. And I think you'll appreciate it, Addie, because it definitely has a science bent to it. It is through the eyes of people studying it, and people who have places in which they're studying the dogs and the ability to communicate and understand their minds. And then it just tear-inducing in the best way, in that animal way, which is you're
like
just,
that heartwarming way.
Yeah, because they go into service dogs, and those service dogs being trained, and you get to hear the effects of them. And then for me, who's currently without my doggy, and I hope within a few months or something, I'll get to see Franny again. And there was a series, a section of it of soldiers returning from the just from all over the world, and how the dogs do remember, and they had some video of after months, if not years, of these dog owners coming back to their dogs and the dogs remembering. I was just bawling, waiting for my Franny to return to me. So it was good tears. It was a good purge late last night. So I highly recommend that.
I'm tearing up just thinking about it because they have videos like that on my Instagram feed sometimes, and it's just like, oh, the puppies.
Yeah, and so it's good. I highly recommend it, but it's a great dog as well. But your dog, Sally Ride, I'm going to watch it. 894-84-84M's going to watch it, and we're all going to know more about Sally Ride.
It was absolutely fantastic and a great watch for Pride Month.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Authentic says watch the Gene Wilder doc on Netflix. Very touching. I'm going to add that to my list as well. Addie, thanks for calling in.
Of course, Ken. I always say I'm not going to watch The Blathering tonight, and then you find me here. So,
well, that's fair. Look, you could take a night off. You could take a night off. But we appreciate having you.
The Rays are on the road. It's a travel day, so you got me instead.
Long as you can get some work done in the background, I don't feel like I'm robbing you of your time. That's all I care about. Okay.
I got a good amount of work done. Thank you very much.
There you go. All right, Dr. Addie, follow her on Blue Sky as well. I want to shout out Laserbolt gifted 10 memberships to the channel. That is very generous, Laserbolt. As always, if you're looking for just a fun YouTube watch, I want to recommend Laserbolt's YouTube channel, Laserbolt Videos. His Friday night flights are very fun, relaxing, and he's also got some great stuff on there. I'm still waiting for him to do forest meets. Laserbolt, just like I'm sitting on a gold mine, Steve, with my squirrel videos that I haven't uploaded yet. Forest meets is just waiting for Laserbolt to take.
I'm so excited for Forest Meets. It's coming one day. He just needs to kind of put the idea together and really let it cook, if you know what I mean, Ken.
That's almost wordplay, and I like it. I like what you did there. All right, we got another call lined up. Will McLean says breaking: U.S. military activates air defense system amid drone attack on space in Iraq. So no ceasefire. Well, we got a couple hours. That's a mission that hasn't yet finished.
They have tee times. You got to let them. It's like a shotgun start in golf, guys.
You got to play through.
Like when you have a big giant, crowd of people, you can't just all start on T1 because then you'd be sitting there and you'd wait all day. Some people start on T1, some people start on the 5th hole, some people start on the 8th hole, and you go from there. So that's all.
There you go.
Give it 24 hours. We will have world peace.
Yeah. Ceasefire. Unless you're already launching the planes, just send them. Just keep going. We'll understand.
We did this. I understood why this was a thing in World War I when we needed carrier pigeons, Ken, to get the message across. Well, why the fuck is it in 2025 they can't just call us and be like, "Hey, cut the shit"? Like,
I think even Brady, 11/11/1918. Yeah. Like that's when you mentioned it earlier. That's why I wanted to talk about it. It's just like, what do we? The horses don't need to deliver the message. Trump's taking a shit and he's bloasted. What do we call it? Bloasting on Truth Social. That's how we get our world news now, is when Trump shits. And there you go.
Hey, what better way to pump up those Truth Social numbers than to just literally put all of U.S. foreign policy on the platform, Ken?
Yeah, he's doing exclusive content, isn't he? Yeah. If you'd like to get new news, you can watch our daily press briefings. But for exclusive content, go follow me on Truth Social.
Yeah, you got to subscribe to Caroline Leavitt on Truth too.
Yeah, her and across. Yeah. And by the way, this war sponsored by Planeteer. It's a time. Addie's right. Build him a time machine. Give him that Emmy. All right, we got
a good take.
We got about 10 minutes left. Detective McCarcell's going to check in here. Detective McCarcell, how you doing, buddy?
Man, it was a great Monday aside from the war.
It was great. Exactly. I had a good weekend outside of the threat of nuclear war. Any thoughts on anything we've discussed here tonight, especially Detective McCarcell? Any takes on foot fetishes or Taco Bell?
Actually, the foot fetish thing led into your security gig, which led into my former security gig.
Yeah.
So the haunted house that I used to work at, I worked as an actor for a couple of years, but for the most of my time there, I worked as the in-house security or part of the team. And yeah, creeps like that were a big part of us, of our job. We had to, I had to throw out at least in an average weekend, probably at least half a dozen dudes who just directly, like, just short of enough to press charges kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Touched female actors. And that's a slow weekend. Like the weekend before Halloween, I think on one occasion someone came it was very shitty the way things were worked because the cops just kind of didn't want to do much.
Sure. But not shocked there.
There was a case where the cops kind of talked this one actress down from pressing charges just to kind of just so they wouldn't have to deal with it. Yeah. It 100% was that. And I was pretty pissed, and me and the rest of security were all pretty pissed, except for the head of security, ironically, who just agreed with the cops because he didn't want the trouble either. But those were the closest times I ever came into getting into actual fights in that place. Like as an actor, I was punched, kicked, whatever. I wasn't worried about it. And as security, people would try to, depending on what we were doing, sometimes they couldn't see us. Sometimes we were just standing right behind them because they were being that much of a dickhead.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
we would just and they would see me looking the way I do and think they're
like
going to
a detective.
Almost there. So close. So close. But yeah, no, well, even when they were just trying to act all tough to me, but it's when they legitimately cause those kinds of issues is where I was almost just shy of losing my temper.
I've been there and I've lost my temper way too many times on some folks under the color of authority, and I regret it. But there's just some of those people. Like I have told the story here before, so Kingsport Kyle would say I've heard that before, Ken. But the night that we as a department threw this serial whacker who would whack off in the corridors across from the lingerie stores in front of the employee, like intentionally in front of the employees. When we finally caught him, we threw him down 3 flights of concrete stairs, and I kind of stand by it. But
it's hard to feel bad for that guy. He kind of deserved that one. He pulled that aggro, just.
Yeah, and the point of the whole story, I tell it now, is to go, then the problem is the next time when someone steals jeans and you feel that's enough reason to throw them down the stairs, that's where I think you start getting into the issues and the problems that I want to fight against. But in that particular moment, we tossed them. and it happened.
Good.
It happened.
Deserved it.
All right. So how much, what was your last Taco Bell meal? Do you, where you are, you don't have to give us your exact address, though, if you'd like to, let us know. Is Taco Bell in your neck of the woods?
Oh yeah, Taco Bell's huge.
It's pretty nationwide, right?
We have one El Pollo Loco around here as well. Singular location.
I'm just so used to when I mentioned Del Taco, half the country or sometimes 3/4 of the country is like never had it, which is just a shame. But yeah, Taco Bell. Okay, what was your most expensive fast food experiences of recent?
I mean, I had gone to Taco Bell. Like I said earlier in the comments, I remember when a single soft taco was just less than $1.
Yes.
Those were the days. Those were the days. The last time I went to Taco Bell, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, and I was able to get. I don't remember the exact number, but I remember being very, very off put by how much I was spending for just me and my fiance. Like, it was too goddamn much.
I'm doing a price check, Steve. You back me up here, but again, the soft taco, and this is an AI result here. So it could be, it could think a taco is something else. But a soft taco, $179. Soft taco supreme, $269. Chicken soft taco, $299. And again, I ain't necessarily. I mean, I don't have any love for corporations like Taco Bell, but like, this is just the bigger picture at large. This is where we're finding it hit. The spicy potato soft taco can be as low as $119. The hell is a spicy potato soft taco?
Taco Bell actually has quite a few like almost vegetarian friendly options, and I think pretty much any of their entrees you can replace the meat with like chopped potatoes basically.
Okay.
I had a friend who would do that pretty consistently because she was mostly pescatarian, but obviously Taco Bell doesn't have.
Del Taco for a while had a complete vegan menu, then they pulled it back. Unfortunately, probably too expensive and not enough people buying it. All right, look at this. Yeah, so your best bet is the build your own cravings box, $5.99. They're pushing. This is like YouTube running too many ads to push you to YouTube Premiere or whatever. They want Steve. It's about that cravings box.
Yeah, Ken, I'm doing a little. I think you're right. I think the cravings box is a good go-to because the a la carte stuff screws you after a while. I was just doing a little research on Taco Bell locations. So first of all, there is a Taco Bell in all 50 states of the United States, including DC. There's one Taco Bell in the District of Columbia. I would have taken the over on that. I would have thought there was more than one Taco Bell in DC.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Taco Bells in each state pretty much follow their population rank, Ken, with the exception of the great state of Michigan, which ranks number 10 in population in the United States, but they rank number 5 in Taco Bells. So the people in Michigan love their Taco Bell.
Laserbolt, Romo, can we confirm this? Is there a Detroit-style soft taco that is available for us to try?
I mean, I can see the logic. I don't think you're getting authentic Mexican food in fucking Michigan. Like, I guess that's the closest you can get. Gotta hope for the best.
I'm sure, Laserbolt, report on the Mexican restaurant choices in the town there. No, great. And Ranger Donald said soft taco in his neck of the woods, $219. Soft taco supreme. There you go. All right, Detective McCarcel, thanks. I got one more call to get to. I appreciate you checking in, buddy, okay?
Later, gang.
All right, later, gang, indeed. We're almost out here, but I got one more call lined up. Monday afternoon show, real fun. Thank you all for playing along here tonight. LQ says it's been more than 10 years, man, since I had Taco Bell. I remember being disappointed. Much prefer local Mexican restaurants. Yeah, I'm not. Del Taco, the love of Del Taco is real, and I recommend it heartily. But part of the problem, Steve, is I don't love Taco Bell. I never have. So I was looking for an alternative. Is that sacrilegious? I got no polo cargo short judgment for Taco Bell. Let's just settle that right now. It's something about it never vibed with me.
Okay, you brought it up again for the record, not me.
I'm just saying. I'm not going to go on some rant if you like Taco Bell. Okay, like I get why.
Oh,
it just didn't connect with me.
I'm a basic bitch when it comes to Taco Bell. I just get the tacos. I don't like the Crunch Wrap Supreme, this, that. I don't like. I'm not the kind of person in general, Ken, that likes putting 10 ingredients into a burrito and just wrapping it and just stuffing it in my face.
Yeah.
I need to go like 2 or 3 ingredients at a time. That's why I like tacos instead, or fajitos or something like that. But no, I'm with you on that. I crave local. There's a local Mexican place where I grew up that I go to every time I go to see my parents. I just went there the other day when I went to go play golf with my dad. I literally on the way home, Ken, stopped and just put down 4 tacos and in a burrito, like in my car, like take out from this Mexican place because I didn't want to sit down by myself in the restaurant all alone and eat the Mexican. So I just ate it in my car before I drove home.
I would have eaten by myself. Though there's most meals are really great alone in a car.
The last thing I needed was someone from like high school, Ken, to be like, why is producer Steve sitting in a booth by himself shoveling
Steve
food into his face? Yeah.
Is that Steve pathetic and alone in a Mexican restaurant? Ranger Donald, hey Ranger Donald, screw you. Okay, go get in a Fortnite boat and go off a cliff. We're almost done with the show. All right, but I do have important questions, and we'll get a call from Sean here. Fair questions from Michael McCarcel. Here's the thing. What's the difference between the two? Is Del Taco just a better Taco Bell? Tully asks the same question. What is the qualitative difference between the Bell and Del Taco? To me, Del Taco is just fresher. And when you have a taco, it feels as though there are individual ingredients in the taco. Lettuce, cheese, tomato, and you can tell the difference between them. Where I feel Taco Bell is one big mush. And I want to be clear, I've had things at Taco Bell that I do like, but overall, I just think Del Taco feels like a more authentic fare. They both are fast food. We're not talking about Ruth Chris here versus Morton Steakhouse.
Yeah,
That's
it's
my
regional
thoughts.
versus national. I mean, Taco Bell is the Subway of tacos. What are you going to? That's just how it is, right?
And everyone's heard me rant on this before, but the Double Del Cheeseburger is perhaps one of the best fast food hamburgers out there. It is at Del Taco. So there you go. All right. Final call of the night here. Sean checking in here. Shawnee checking in from Met Country. How you doing, buddy?
All good, brother. How you making out?
I haven't made out. I haven't made out with anyone in a long time. So if you're offering, let me know. Fly on out. I'll pick you up.
Gotta go use my geographical linguistics against me. Damn you.
Yeah, man. What's on your mind tonight? I know you got a big week coming up ahead in your life. You shared some stuff with me today. Excited for you to have some fun. What's going on?
Yeah, so through Collider, my daughter and I got a advanced screening for Jurassic World Rebirth this Wednesday with Gareth Edwards, the director, and producer Frank Marshall.
That is a absolute great pairing. Frank Marshall is a great. I thank him for the Bee Gees duck. Thank him for the Frank Sinatra duck too. That's great, man. That's great. Your daughter, a Jurassic Park fan. Is that why she wins the lottery? You going?
Yeah, she started getting into it when Chris Pratt took over a couple of years back, and has seen every one of them since.
See, and I don't have a skin. I don't have a Triceratops in the fight. I did not grow up watching Jurassic Park. I didn't see it in the theaters. Like it missed me, which is weird because it was of my time. But this is why, as much as I know a lot of the movies have missed over the last couple of years, I love hearing that, Sean, because you're talking about a next generation falling for something that's new to them that opens the door into the bigger picture. That's one of the things I love.
She's really my kid, man. She loves the movies as much as I do. It's all about just the story, escapism, and getting away from all this craziness for like 2 hours.
That's going to be great. Press screenings or early screenings always fun. You get to see the folks. I don't know Gareth Edwards, but I've been at panels when he's on, and he's just so nice. And he loves this stuff, so you guys are going to have a good time. What I don't know what's offered at press screenings and early screenings. It can vary. You should have access to all the snacks. But what is your go-to movie snack that you might want to share with your daughter?
You know what? I kind of keep it simple, stupid. Popcorn, soda, maybe M&Ms. That's it. I'm a basic bitch.
You and Steve, basic bitches tonight. Do you ever mix the two? That's a bit controversial. I don't intentionally put my chocolate in my popcorn, but if someone offers me a handful of it, I take it.
That would I would only do the popcorn mixed with M&Ms if it was like a house party or something, but I don't think I would.
Wow.
I don't think I would do it at the movies. It just doesn't seem right to me.
What kind of key party are you going to? Put the keys in there and then grab some chocolate.
Like the Halloween parties and whatnot,
Love that. We're almost out of here, Sean. But thank you for calling in. But you don't need to go into it complete, especially if you and your daughter are trying to have a good week. But from someone who was in the military, active duty, many tours of duty, doing the stuff, suffering great losses. What is your general relationship with stuff going on right now? Again, not looking for you to get into the weeds on it, but just does it strike? It has to strike you a little differently, right?
It does. I mean, it's a little unnerving kind of seeing what the next steps will be.
Yeah.
And that just for me now, I'm out of the game now. I don't I'm not in the fight. So being separated of it, I can feel all that anxiety that everybody has going on right now. But that being said, I wholeheartedly support taking away any nuclear capability from Iran. They should be in no position to become a nuclear threat.
Yeah, that's one of those, to me, it's a bottom line, probably good idea situation, right? Across the board. No, I appreciate that. No. And a good perspective of being, like you said, being out of the game. It means, it means you have not that you had control of the situation on a big degree then, but you had some some of your destiny in front of you was
exactly. Yeah. My fate was in my hands as much as it could be.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the honesty, Sean. Go have some fun this week and report back. Okay.
Roger that, brother. Love you.
Love you, Shawnee. Shawnee. I'm gonna get everyone saying that, Steve. Shawnee.
I'm not. I won't do it.
Yeah. You won't do it. That's good.
No.
That's good. Okay.
Rebel.
We did it, Steve. We're out of here. I got some stuff I got to go do. We will not have a show. I confirm. I was looking at my text with Mr. Mark Ellis. I am Mark's date to a Superman screening this week. So Thursday, no show, but Blathering Backstage might have some stuff. I'm going to finally get some squirrel content up. And then Saturday night, I think we're going to try to go at 4 o'clock my time. We're going to do like a 2-hour super show on Saturday. I'm going to try to get some guests lined up. People pop in and out. We're going to have some fun on Saturday. Is that okay with everyone, Steve?
That sounds like a lot of fun. And yeah, check out, keep it on the Discord if you are there. Look out on Blue Sky. We'll probably do something on Backstage if Ken's not around Thursday. Sometime between now and the Saturday show, we'll have a Backstage stream. So,
all right. Love it. Love it. A lot of fun. Thank you all for calling in. Laserbolt, thank you for those channel memberships. Appreciate all of you. Tonight, Steve, as always, thanks, man, for just being the log on this show's fire.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. Take care.
Bye.